be one of those costumes where it's either gonna be cute or creepy depending on where I'm at and the lighting. So right now, chilling in the yarn dungeon, I have a little cup of coffee. It's bright lighting, you know, we're cute right now. We got the neon, the cute little neon stitches. However, go to a haunted house, put a little red spotlight on me, set it up in like a corner or something. It's gonna get real intense and real creepy. I don't know about you, but I love a good creepy doll costume. And especially in my horror movies, I know I'm in for a good time whenever there's a rocking chair with a tiny little doll just sitting there. And in daylight, it looks totally fine. But once everything starts shutting down for the night, again, the lighting and surroundings, things get real creepy real quick. What is up, ghouls? Welcome back to the Yarn Dungeon. We have some brand new yarn from Hirschner's. They sent me an entire box of their neon light yarn. This is their Worsted 8 collection, which is machine wash and dryable. Fantastic for wearables and costumes and things like, I mean, my wig is even going to be, I can throw in the wash and throw in the dryer. It just means that I'm going to be able to make more of these pieces because I know in the back of my mind that I'm not going to have to lay it flat to dry. The fact that I am planning on wearing this to haunted houses, you know, like I'm going to be eating carameled apples, popcorn, things like that. It's going to need to be washed. It makes it sound like I'm a super messy eater. But I just mean like there's things and stuff that are it's gonna get used, basically. Before we get into the entire line, I do want to let you know that as we're looking at all these colors, if you see something that you love, I have a discount code for you today. Just for you ghouls. For this entire Halloween weekend, use altknots and you get free shipping. Fantastic time to go ahead and load up because it did come with the catalog and you know they always have a ton of ideas. Immediate yes for me. This is actually an entire project kit. So it has the pattern and everything that you need for the yarn in order to make this blanket. I have been making so many blankets lately, but I can always add another one. Glow Wave Ripple Afghan. Radiant ripples are cozy and colorful. Like it just looks like a fun one to sit down and make on Halloween nights. Also, a bucket hat. We have a little tote. And if you have a pet, and maybe you go for walks in the morning or something, that intense lime green is gonna be perfect. All of the yarn you can get individually, but they also have Hirschner's Worsted 8 light yarn packs. So each pack comes with 4 skeins and they have fun little names. So Electrify, Neon Lights, Fluorescent, and Vegas. They come with 3 solids and 1 crazy intense explosion of neon all together and a little gradient skein there. If you're like me and you kind of want to use every single color, I mean, feel free to do that, but also this could kind of narrow it down for you. That way you have the solid pieces and then you can use the crazy color to kind of stitch everything together. I did a zigzag stitch because I felt like, well, one, it's my favorite to assemble things together, but I also felt for a doll, the zigzag stitch was gonna be perfect. Getting into the yarn now, starting with my favorite color because I've been obsessed with this color entire year. Like 2023, this has been my color. The name is Luminescent Lime. So yeah, every single one of them has a super fun name to go with it. It's not just green, orange, blue, yellow. They went all out for this line. Hirschner's Worsted 8 Neon Lights. It is 100% acrylic, 8 ounces, 489 yards per skein. Machine wash and dryable. I know I already said that, but I'm gonna continue to say it because I freaking love it. So Luminescent Lime, that's this side. This color is called Outrageous Orange. It's definitely an intense in-your-face type of orange. I have plans for making appliques, a little bit of scrunchy action. Honestly, like moments before you and I sat down to chit-chat about this, I thought, hey, that would have been fun to do on my knitting machine, was make little scrunchies to go on either side of my wig. Even though the knitting machine is fast, like it's not that fast. So I will definitely be working on it in the future though. Speaking of my wig, we have the yarn that I used, which is Proton Purple. I feel like you don't really need to see much more of a close-up because you're just gonna be staring at it the entire time. All right, now that is all of the colors that I used for my outfit apart from the stitches to go together. What color did I use for that? Neon lights. There's not any blue in here, but the majority of the colors you can find all throughout the neon lights one. Love that they tied it all together. And that is the stitching that holds this entire sweater together. I almost said cardigan because I've been in a cardigan mode, but no, we have a sweater today. Next up is Sassy Scarlet. I will never get tired of saying that name. Many plans I have with this color. Like, this is my color, my day-to-day go-to type of color. Beanies, cardigans, wraps, mittens, I think is what I'm gonna do with a lot of this yarn, actually. Especially since I made it a little bit shorter, it would have been cute to do like elbow length mittens. Okay, I'm writing that one down. If you think of ideas as you're seeing this yarn as well, shout it out, let me know. Because we have a lot of yarn. I mean, I made this entire costume and I still have all of this yarn ready to go, and it's not gonna sit in the yarn dungeon. Like, it's gonna get used up here. Crazy Coral is next, which isn't picking up exactly the way that it is in person. Like, it's just so intense and so fluorescent that it's reflecting a little bit. Wild Watermelon, but it is also pretty close to a coral color when I'm showing you by itself. But again, put them all together and you're like, oh my gosh, no, yeah, those are way freaking different. Oh, okay, I didn't even notice that, but you have the option to get a hook with it as well. So it tells you the size of hook that you use for it, and then you can buy it or like add on to the project as well. So if you don't have one of those, or you just want to get everything all together in one, you have that option. This next one, it's not gonna pick up. Yep, there we go. Not even gonna pick it up. It's basically just white. The name is Laser Lemon. Okay, I'm just gonna let that sink in for a second. I wanted to make my wig out of this color so badly, but I started doing it yesterday and like the camera would just not focus. It was like, I don't know what is happening, but there is just an absence of color here. Personally loved it, and I am gonna actually have to make a wig, especially for haunted house outings and everything like that. But yeah, for right now, the purple was a much better choice. I mean, even the green is like intense here. Last of the solid colors, which I already got started on a little wrap here. This one is called Brilliant Blue. Kind of like the blanket, the little wavy blanket ripple action that it had going on. I thought that would look amazing as a scarf and a wrap and a shawl. This is the color that I started with. I'm going to continue to build off of this one. This one is called Vegas, and it's another one that has some of the colors as well as a little bit of black yarn, same as the neon lights. Like, that one has a little black yarn running through it as well. The other two are more bright. They don't have any sort of black yarn in it. Electricity with that as a beanie. Yes, that's fantastic. That's exactly what I want. Side note, this yarn works amazing on my Addy knitting machine, so I use it a lot to make beanies. I can do two-tone beanies, so that way I have like one color and then flip it. There's another color, basically have two beanies in one. This one is called Fluorescent, but match it up with one of the colors that are in here. Either the yellow or the blue, I think, is what I go with this one. When you go to their site to check out this yarn, don't forget to click on the top. They have all their Halloween goodies on clearance. So click that little button. We need to talk about the Spooky Village. At the beginning of this month, we got together and chit-chatted about this. Actually, I think it was the middle to end of September. We were talking about it. I was like, this thing is amazing. I really want to do it, but I don't want to commit to it because at that time I thought I had a bunch of things, which I did. I had a ton of things to crochet and decorate and do during spooky season, but for whatever reason this year, I am just so relaxed. I have everything finished. I mean, I'm doing extra things, but it might be something fun to do to keep the spooky season alive. Okay, so here is the bundle. There are either 2 or 3 different bundles. Like, these 2 are separate, and then you can buy them together. I mean, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go all out. Like, I'm gonna get every single one of these. I love that haunted house. And then on the bottom here, let's see if I can zoom into that. It says Cauldron Cafe. That is the one that I want to do first. Obviously, Cauldron Cafe, spooky little witch, hanging out, going to get some caffeine before they go out and do all their spooky stuff on their broom. Is there a broom? Oh, it's a cauldron. Okay, yes, 100%. I mean, there are a ton of pieces in here. We have the little cemetery. I could go through every single one of them. Cute little candy corn trees. Since I'm still thinking about it at the end of October, I think I should go for it, right? Like, just go ahead and grab it. Fun and easy plastic kit includes 7 mesh plastic canvas, acrylic yarn, needle, embellishments shown, and complete instructions to create both the original 14 pieces for the Halloween Village and the additional 7 new pieces. So make sure you check everything out. Like, there's a ton of things, paint by number, and also the diamond painting, which is another thing that I have yet to get into. Nightmare Before Christmas jigsaw puzzle. This would be a perfect time to grab it. It works on so many different levels during fall and winter time. This little baddie could stay out for as long as you wanted it to. Personally, it would be a year-round thing for me. I would just like finish it and then hang it up type of ordeal. Latch hook. Something else that I'm still thinking about since the beginning of October is these incredible latch hook kits. This is a little out of my comfort zone for latch hook because it has been years and years and years since I have done like a basic pillow with a bat on it. But here is where we eventually want to get to. It would make such an amazing pillow. I could just, you know, put it in right here. It would blend. It would be perfect. There's a cute little cat. They have buttons. There are 2 different packs. We have this one, which is a basic looking button and has a little bit of glitter to it. This one has characters. Both of them would have been perfect for the sweater. Okay, add to cart. Ooh, but this one says trick or treat on it. What do we think about on the cuff? So use these because it has like a trick-or-treat bag. We have jack-o'-lantern. We have scary, boo, fall, all of the things, and use it kind of as a border substitute. Okay, I like that idea. Add to cart. And there's ghosts. So yeah, obviously. As always, we want to continue with the spooky. We don't want it to stop at October. So now is the perfect time to stock up on all your spooky activities. I love to do puzzles and stuff in the wintertime when it's like snowing and I am packed in. I love just completely taking over a room. And I'm talking like rolling up the rugs, moving the couch, moving all the chairs. The floor is now my area for multiple different puzzles because that's the other thing too. I don't just do one puzzle at a time. I do multiple, so I need the extra space. They all end up getting done eventually. It's like I fixate on them for a couple of hours, get them done. I have actually put up in frames and they look delightful. Like I found some vintage frames that I painted black, put them all in there and use them to decorate with. Not that you need me to give you more ideas. Now, full breakdown of everything that I created with the neon yarn. The wig was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. Like I saved this for last because the sweater, it was a double crochet, like the entire thing. I did 2 panels, front and back, double crochet. I didn't even measure. I just kind of like held it up, eyeballed it. I was like, that looks good, rolled with it. I did most of this while I was traveling in a car too. So like this project was a delight to work with. I don't have to count stitches. I didn't have to count the rows really. I just kind of had to hold them up. I did afterwards. When I put them together, I counted, made sure they were even. But I'm just saying, like this was definitely a super fun, quick and easy project. The sleeves, I just held it up to my arm. I had to redo this one once because I ended up making it a little bit too big. I thought I wanted balloon sleeves to go with it just because, you know, the doll setting, but then I didn't want to do ribbing for it. To get the nice effect, I like to have the ribbing, so that was out. Ripped that one apart, did it again, but even still, it ended up being, I don't know, like 35 rows. Seamed it all together with a zigzag stitch using the neon lights. I didn't even do any sort of border or anything on the top here. I just used the zigzag stitch again in the corresponding color. So this one was the lime and this one was the outrageous orange. but you can kind of see like right there, there's a big chunky seam just to pull it together a little bit. I'm definitely going to play around this pattern. I had a couple, to be honest, I had many different ideas for this pattern of making it a little bit more elaborate, putting some appliques on it. As I got into it, I just wanted to go simple, and I feel like that has a nice effect too, because there's a lot of things going on with this doll outfit. I can add things as I'm going, but for the original reveal of the doll sweatshirts, I'm pretty happy with it. The wig, what is holding this all together is a piece of felt right in the middle, about 2.5 inches. I measured across and then held it up to my head and just roughly measured there. So it goes from the top of my head all the way to the back, or like the bottom of my head right there. The yarn, once again, I just kind of eyeballed it. I knew I wanted it to be pretty long, and it folded over. So I had to, whatever length I wanted on this side, I doubled it up because this is all one piece. So pulled that out, and I did it in sections. Sewed a little bit of that together and then did more. 3 main seams. For the bangs, I did the same, where it was double the length, but then I sewed in the middle and folded it over so you can't see the seam. It just makes that nice little part for the doll bangs. The only thing that took a little while was getting all the yarn out, like pulling it out. Do I even have that one left? Okay, this one. It takes a lot, obviously. It's a big, hefty wig here, but even still, the 8 ounces went pretty far. Will 100% be making more of these wigs. This one for sure I want to make for my next haunted house outing. I think it's gonna look amazing, and I want to see what it looks like under black lights. Who knows, I might even end up working on it tonight. That is everything for today. We have the yarn, the Halloween, don't forget that clearance section, and my altknots code for the entire spooky weekend. You can go ahead and grab yourself free shipping to stock up on the Neon Lights Intensity Orange. I mean, we all want one of these, right? The neon sweatshirts. I feel like it's a must-have for the Ghoul Squad, as well as doll wigs. And if you were wondering, it is very warm. Yes. So as I am walking through a haunted house this weekend, I don't think that I'm gonna need a hat. My head is very well insulated with the amount of yarn that I have on it, which I'm gonna take as a win. One more shout out thank you to Hirschner's for sending me the Neon Lights yarn. I have many things on my queue now, waiting and ready to go with some of the colors that I didn't even get to. So make sure you stick around for all of these spooky goodies to come out of this line. For now, have a fantastically spooky rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video.